Hello and welcome to Round Glass Living. I'm Leah Cullis and I'm your guide for our yoga session today. This is our 15-minute yoga for beginners. So thank you so much for making the space in your life to come and start or deepen the foundations of your practice with us here at Round Glass. So in this class, we want to make the first time on your mat or the many times on your mat fun and pressure-free. So we'll be going over some of the basic building blocks of a yoga practice and like hand and feet placement. And we'll also look at some classic poses like downward facing dog and warrior two. So, okay, yogi, let's get started. Make sure that you have enough space around you so that you can widen your arms and really take up the space on your mat. You'll also see that I'm seated on a block and I have another one close by. I highly recommend that you have some props near you and within hand's reach for your practice. If you don't have a yoga block, you can also bring a water bottle or a couple books, or even use some cushions from the couch or a pillow from your bed. You want to have the props to help lift the earth up to you. Okay, we're going to begin in just a really short and simple meditation practice. Meditation in its simplest form is getting quiet and still. So go ahead and sit on one of your blocks, then cross your ankles. This pose is called Sukhasana, easy pose. Then ground your palms down to your thighs. This creates a closed circuit for your energy and helps you to start to tune into the inner peace and calm that's always within you if you acknowledge it. All right, so palms down. Now lift your heart high, lift the crown of your head high. We want to lengthen the spine as much as possible. Then either close your eyes or set a soft gaze at the floor. And now simply watch your natural breath flowing in and out of your nose. The meaning of yoga is to yoke or to bring things together. You may have heard before that yoga means union. So when we come to our practice on the yoga mat, this union happens with the body and the breath. So one of the aims for our physical practice is uniting the body and the breath. So it's essential to study and understand your breath before we add on the movements. So just get a sense of how deep your breath is, if you're breathing more from your front body or your back body. And then we'll check in at the end of our practice. Okay, yogis, unite your hands together at heart center. You can look up at me if you need to. Press your palms together in prayer, and then lift your heart up into your thumbs. Sit up a little taller. Take a moment to set your unique intention for your practice today. It might mean to understand the foundations of a yoga practice, or simply get a nice stretch. Whatever your unique reason for stepping onto your mat today will help shape your listening and also help you get the most out of your practice on the mat. So with our intentions united, let's all take a deep breath in. An open mouth exhale. Now bow your head to your heart. Release your hands back to your thighs. Open your eyes and lift your gaze. Okay, yogis, we're going to move into our first pose known as child's pose. Child's pose. So go ahead and take your seat off your blocks or whatever prop you're on. Move to the back part of your mat. Touch your big toes together. Separate your knees nice and wide. You want your legs wide enough so that you have space to lay your ribs between your thighs. Then walk your hands in front of you. Slowly crawl your hands forward until you can come down to your forearms and then drop your head to the earth. If that's too much strain on your neck or shoulders, you can also use a block or a pillow underneath your third eye, underneath your forehead. If your forehead can come all the way down to the earth, go ahead and do so. And then stretch your arms nice and long. So feel the gentle pull from your hip creases through your fingertips.
And now seal your lips and begin to deepen your breath in and out of your nose. So your inhale is about 4 counts. Exhale is even 4 counts. Your calm, equanimous breath will help radiate that energy through your entire body as we add on movement. Now, spread your fingers wide, dig your knuckles down into your mat, and inhale, rise on up to a tabletop pose. So tabletop pose is we're on all fours. You want to stack your shoulders over your wrists, tuck your toes under for a little more support as you stack your hips over your knees. Now, as we begin, look down at your hands. Notice the placement of your index fingers. You want your index fingers at 12 o'clock or slightly turned out to the outer edges of the mat. So straight forward or slightly turned out. This will help open up the energy across your chest and make more space for you to receive your breath. Okay, with your hands grounding down, now set your gaze to the mat between your thumbs. Gently pull your wrists towards your knees towards your wrists, and feel the engagement of your low belly. We want to keep the low belly engaged as we add on movement. All right, now tip your tail to the sky as you inhale and draw your chest forward through your upper arm bones and look up. This is cow pose. As you exhale, press your hands into the earth, press your knees down, and arc your spine like a hollowing cat. Tuck your chin into your chest. Let's do that again. Inhale, open up your front body, cow. And exhale, press the earth away, cat. 3 more rounds at the rhythm of your breath. So inhale, you open and expand your front body. Exhale, dig into the earth and lengthen into your back body. These 2 movements together, cat and cow, really illustrate how we ride the breath within every posture. So inhale, we open. Exhale, we hug the center. All right, yogis, come back to your neutral spine. Now walk your hands forward about 6 inches. Keep your toes tucked under, press into your hands, draw your heart through your upper arm bones, lift your legs up, press into your hands even more, and work your ribs back towards your thighs. All right, downward facing dog. Now notice if you have a lot of weight in your hands and you feel your weight rounding forward in your upper back, you might need to walk your feet back. If there's too much weight in your feet, not enough in your hands, you might need to walk your hands forward. Oftentimes, beginner students, I find that we can take up more space. Yeah, go big on your mat. All right, now yogis, walk your hands back to your feet, all the way back to your feet. Separate your feet at hip distance. You can measure it out with 2 fists in between your feet. Slide your palms to your shins, bend your knees a lot. Really press the paddles of your hands into your shins and lengthen your heart away from your hips. So long spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Lay your belly on your thighs, then grab opposite elbows. Keep a generous bend in your knees. If you know that you can give a little more stretch in your hamstrings, then start to tip your tail up to the sky. Deep, full breaths in and out of your nose. If it feels good, sway side to side. Nice work. Come back to center. Release your hands to the earth. Walk your hands all the way forward to down dog. It's like a bear crawl. And then press into your index knuckles again. Straighten your arms. Wrap your biceps forward. Downward facing dog. Now try bending your knees slightly here. Notice if this feels better. I always keep a slight bend in my knees. You can go generous or slight. Oftentimes it takes a lot of flexibility to have straight legs in down dog. So let yourself be new and explore. All right, yogis. Next inhale, let's shift forward into a high plank pose. So high push-up pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Now you can always drop your knees down to the ground. Again, check it out. See that your index fingers are straight forward or slightly out to the sides. With your next exhale, press into your hands. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, roll forward, high plank pose. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing. 1 more time. Inhale, high push up. Exhale, downward dog. This time, come forward, high plank pose. Lower your knees down to the ground and lower your chest and your belly down to the earth as well. All right, untuck your toes and press the tops of your feet and your toenails down into the mat. Slide your hands back so your palms are underneath your elbows and squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Firm up your leg muscles as well. With your next inhale, just float your head and your heart up off the earth. This is low cobra pose, part of our vinyasa. Exhale, lower your head and your heart back to the earth. Again, with breath, inhale, lift your head and your heart. To add on more muscle engagement, float your palms, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, return to the mat. Take an inhale here. Firm your hands down onto the mat. With your exhale, slide back into child's pose, balasana. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Okay, so that's our vinyasa. High to low push-up, low cobra to downward facing dog. Let's link it all together with breath. So create a union with breath. Inhale, shift forward, high plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees down to the ground. Inhale, extend your heart more forward. Exhale, as one integrated unit, lower to the mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your head and your heart, engage your back body. Exhale, return to the earth, slide back through child's pose. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Nice work. Next inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, step walk or hop your feet all the way up to your hands. At the top of your mat, grab your hips, bend your knees a lot. Now plug your arm bones onto your back and slowly rise up to stand. All right, yogis, hands at heart center. Set your gaze at your fingertips and take a moment to notice how you feel now. After you've taken some time to detail the alignment at your mat and deepen your breath. What's the result? And then remember your intention. As we add on more dynamic movement, dedicate your efforts to this energy to amplify it in how you feel and what you get to carry from your mat into the rest of your day. Take a big breath in, open mouth, exhale. All right, yogis, release your hands by your sides, palms facing forward. This way you can squeeze your shoulder blades together more on your back. Keep an open heart. All right, sun salutation A. Inhale, circle your arms out wide like the rising sun. Go big with your arms. As you exhale, unite your palms overhead, trace your center line of your body, bend your knees. Now hinge forward at your hips for forward fold, fingertips to the earth. If you have blocks, you can keep your blocks towards the top of your mat, and you always have that extra support underneath your hands. Now, palms to shins, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, gazes down to the ground. When you're ready, plant your hands to the earth, step your feet back into your high plank pose, look forward, drop your knees down to the ground, and lower your belly and your heart to the mat. Slide your palms back underneath your elbows. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lower down. Slide into child's pose. Then downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. All right, really dig down through your index knuckles. And inhale, sweep your right leg high, three-legged dog. On your exhale, bend your knee, pull your knee towards your nose in a high plank variation. Inhale, kick up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose. Now step to your right thumb. It may take a couple steps so you can grab your right ankle with your right hand and work your foot to the top of your mat. Then spin your left heel down to the ground and inhale, rise. Warrior one. Hands to heart center. Open up. Warrior two. Nice and wide. For warrior two, set your gaze over your front middle fingernail and then go deeper into your front leg. So you want open hips, open heart. Gaze, known as drishti in the yoga practice, is straightforward with a soft gaze at the curve of your middle fingernail. Now melt your shoulders more down your back. Flip your front palm. We'll move into reverse warrior. Left hand down your back leg. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, right hand down, then left hand down to frame your right foot. Pop your left heel up. We'll step back. Downward facing dog. Notice the difference between your right and your left sides. Come back to your steady, rhythmic breath. And let's work that on the left. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, knee to your nose. Stack your shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, kick up and back. Exhale, think cat in your belly. Step to your left thumb. You can catch your left foot. Walk your foot up. Take up your space on your mat. Right heel down. Squeeze your heels towards one another. Then inhale, warrior one. So both arms up, biceps by your ears. Then draw your hands to heart center. I'll turn to face you. Warrior two, left side. So you can back up or go as deep as it feels good to you. But with your feet, you're pressing down and lifting back up into your core. So we're never just static in a pose. We're working the opposites. Down, up. Create the union. In, out. Right? So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Spark your fingers out wide. Notice if you can drop deeper into your pose. Make it yours. Flip your front palm. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Nice work. Slowly walk halfway up your mat. Come down to your knees. Cross your ankles behind you. Roll over your feet. Okay, and now we'll extend both legs out in front of you. Pedal out your knees. Now bend your left knee. So plant your left foot down to the earth. You want a little bit of space between your left foot and your inner thigh. Right foot is flexed. Catch your shin. Sit up nice and tall. All right, for a seated twist, you can work this in two ways. Left fingers behind you. Use the eye of your right elbow to hook your left shin, turn and twist. Or some of you can reach your right arm high, hook and cross for your twist. I like to use my elbow. All right, now ride your breath here. So remember, yoga is union, the union of breath and body. On your inhale, sit taller. Exhale, pull your belly back to twist more from deep within your core. You can even turn and look over your back shoulder if that feels good. Nice work. Slowly unwind. Now, Janu Shirsasana, head to knee pose. Plant your left foot to your inner right thigh. So your legs are making like a backwards L. Frame your right leg. So tense your fingers on both sides and turn your spine so it aligns with your leg bones. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, keep this length in your spine, hinge forward at your hips. Now notice that first layer of resistance. We want to work with what's there in your body, with you. All right, so instead of pushing through, just pause and stay. I feel a little catch in the left side of my low back. So that's where I'm sending my breath. And I'm being with that area of my body rather than forcing myself into a shape that might not be working for me today. So in yoga, you want to make it your own, work with your unique circumstances. If you're ready to go deeper, you can catch your foot and pull yourself down. With your next inhale, lift your gaze, slowly rise up, and we'll switch sides. So extend your left leg long this time, plant your right foot down, catch the front of your right shin, sit up nice and tall. So remember, we want to create mountain pose, long, tall spine in all of our shapes. And then twist, right fingers behind your sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of your spine. Use the eye of your elbow to turn and twist. With each inhale, sit up taller. Each exhale, pull your belly back, twist a little deeper. It's like you're working through a spiral staircase. Then shift your gaze forward, right foot to your inner left thigh. Tense your fingers on both sides of your leg. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Now you can also bend your knee or use one of your props to help make the pose your own. This is a beautiful variation of this shape. So is this. You want to maintain as much length through your spine as you can and also hinge at the hips. Remember, we're working with our body, with the sensations that we feel, and using the breath as our investigative tool to notice when we can deepen, when we can hug to center. Your breath is what personalizes your practice. All right, inhale, lift your gaze, sit up nice and tall.
Options here, we can either lay down and go into your Shavasana with your arms extended out, feet extended out, or you can meet me in a seated meditation. I'll take my seat on a block. The intention for both poses is to release any effort, body, mind, breath, and come into some stillness. As you are not efforting, you can receive more of the benefits from your yoga practice today. So in this final rest, it's a conscious resting pose. Okay, so you want to be aware and awake, but still and quiet. So close your eyes, yogis. Return your focus to your natural breath. And notice the shifts, the new awareness that you have now. Through your mindful practice of linking your body and your breath. What is your practice of union created on your mat for you today? If you're in a traditional Shavasana, please come up to a seat, join us. Let's all unite our hands at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And take a moment to honor and acknowledge yourself for showing up on your mat today, for being willing to try something new or to deepen the foundation of your practice. Good job. We'll seal our time together with a final Om. Om is the sound of the universe. So you can either listen in or join in with your voice. Take a deep breath in. Lift your prayer hands up to your third eye, the space right between your eyebrows, to seal the wisdom from your body into your mind. Bowing together, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice today. Thank you for trying something new and being on your mat. We are here to support you building your yoga practice and your meditation practice here at Round Glass. So I hope to see you again very soon. I'm Leah Cullis. Be well, yogi.